Exodus chapter 12 verse 1. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, "This month is to be for you the first month of your year." And so now we are going to move into the Passover and the importance of ultimately the Passover. This needs to be like a new beginning for them. The first month of the year. So it's like January the 1st kind of idea, right? So this huge turn that is happening. Now we understand, why Western cultures kind of celebrate January the 1st, because it's more to do with ultimately in the northern hemisphere, the sun turning and then start moving, coming back to the north, that is, and the majority of people live in the northern hemisphere, by far the majority of people. But as I mentioned in the introduction, it does not mean that all cultures celebrate January the 1st as the New Year. Chinese have a different New Year, Burmese have a different New Year, Japanese have the Thai people have, lots of people have different New Years. Even the Russians kinda, old New Year kinda, because that is not such a big difference. Right, but this is to show that this day is so important, that your whole year will start with this now year. Verse 3. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for each household. Okay, so on the 10th day then of this month, now they need to take a lamb for the household. And we're going to see in the next verse ultimately how all of this is going to play out. Verse 4. If any household is too small for a whole lamb, they must share one with their nearest neighbor, having taken into account the number of people there are. You are to determine the amount of lamb needed in accordance with what each person will eat. Okay, so the idea here is that, it makes a lot of sense. So if you're a young guy, you just got married and you don't have any children yet, or maybe your parents died or whatever, and you're alone, or you just got married, and you're a small family, right? Not a family of 20, 30 people. Then a whole lamb is going to be way too much to eat, because you're supposed to, as we're going to see further in this chapter, you're supposed to eat all of this immediately. You can't leave any for the next day. It's not a question like they can go and put some in the refrigerator, and tomorrow they can have some barbecued meat again, and then the day after that some barbecued meat again, or something like that, right? No, that is not, because God told them that they're not supposed to. That no refrigerators on standard. That's the point. But so a logical, very practical thing is they need to then look at the size of the house, and then that would be then a determination of how much meat they ultimately can eat. Now, yeah, I know some people, have more bigger capacity. I know people who are like this, but man, they can eat a lot. And then I know other people who are huge, but they can't eat a lot. It happens, right? And but then these people ultimately might have neighbors who have big families, and then if they have big families, then the lamb they took might not be enough for the whole family. So then they can get some meat. Sharing is caring. Verse 5. The animals you choose must be year-old males without defect, and you may take them from the sheep or the goats. Okay, here we just get more information concerning which kind of animals they're supposed to take. So it must be male, year-olds, and no defects. This thing is going to come up often in the Old Testament, where the people are going to tell God, God, especially there in the days of Jeremiah, we're bringing all these offerings to you, and so why are you not taking care? Why don't you accept them? It's it started with Cain and Abel. Cain brought just the first. He just brought whatever he could find, the watermelon, whatever he could find. He didn't care about. His heart was not in it. While Abel brought the best, right? The best. And so here as well, it's clearly shown that they need to bring the best. They need to give God the best. Not just anything, they need to give God the best. A year-old, male, and without defect. So like in the people there in Jeremiah's day, complaining, God, we're bringing all, but they were bringing these animals with defects. They were the stuff they didn't want to. That is what they ultimately brought for God. Okay, so God here just clearly explained to them what they're supposed to do and not do.
Wah, kira-kira itu.